Hello everybody. So in this video I'm going to discuss the different power supplies you can get for your computer. So to start off, I'm going to start off with this one. This is just a standard 24 pin, even though I set it up as a peripheral device tester. This is 24 pins. This is the most standard one you would find in a mid tower. Even a full tower. Some desktops, it's very rare. I know a few arcade games use these full size in their cases. But anyway, this has a 4-pin CPU connection. That's what this little 4-pin is for. This goes into the board just like that, and when you turn it on, it supplies power to the CPU. This supplies 12 volts. I call it a 12-volt source. Okay, so next one. This is a small form factor / thin client power supply. This one is also 24 pin. Breaks off so you can plug it into a 20-pin board if you need to. The reason why this thing is so small is on the thin form factor, you have no room. So it has to be extremely thin in order to fit into the case. Now, if this ever blows, this will be more expensive than this one. Why is that? These are harder to come by than these because most people use mid towers, so these are more common than these right here. And this also has the 4-pin 12-volt source for the CPU. Now, to get into the bigger stuff, this is an Esp Power Supply. I got this one at Best Buy. I used it to build a peripheral device tester. So, if I turn it around, this had the 24-pin connection until I removed it to build the device tester. So this has a 6-pin connection for the CPU. This is called an Esp Power Supply. I've only come across one board that had the Esp setup. That was a really fancy computer that I built, but for somebody. So anyway, this goes into the CPU connection. And ironically, on this power supply, I actually took this off and powered it on, and it was sending power down to it. So this is constantly on, just like the main motherboard connection would be in the computer, and it made a really cool spark and all that. And so these all handle these. What do these have in common? They're all power supplies. They convert AC into DC and then send the DC current down to the computer motherboard. Some are more expensive. This power supply was a little more expensive than, let's say, this one is, but this is going to be a little more expensive than this one because this is harder to find than this. So if it's commonly found, it's going to be cheaper. If it's not commonly found, it's going to be more expensive. So the higher end boards, like the real high end boards with, I'm being outrageous here, with 64 gigs of memory and all that, are going to use something like this. Standard computers like the ones that are here are going to use the 24-pin and the 4-pin power supply connection, the CPU connection. So, with that said, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.